just stabbed the warden, y'all. They're bringing people out. Y'all can see the movement. They had the door barricaded. That shit crazy, y'all. They just stabbed the warden now. All the officers, SWAT team and shit, they on the motherfucking yard. They ain't bullshit. Look at that shit. Sheesh. I'm on top of the motherfucking corner of the heater. My motherfucking leg hurt. But that's live footage, y'all. No cap. Look at that shit. Look, they got something on the floor. Look at that shit. They got something on the floor, dog. Alright, y'all, I'm gone, because this shit fucking hurting my motherfucking feet.
I apologize for all the profanity. But live footage from Telfair State Prison. So earlier today, I got a exclusive phone call before anything hit social media. Before it hit, I don't even think it's been on the news yet. I'm not absolutely sure, but before it hit the fan, while the blood was still dripping, I started getting phone calls from the big homie. Like, look, man, the warden at Telfair just got stabbed up a couple of times in the neck. Then I started doing my research. I started reaching out to folks. I started hearing, what they said. They said dorm. 1 second, I'm gonna tell you. Dorm. It says that one of the dorms was, okay, here we go. It says, the warden at Telfair State Prison has been stabbed. Additionally, they are using gas on dorm C1. They've turned off all water and spraying gas into the building from the roof. So they must have set it off, man. But if you go and you look at my videos, either on my TikTok or my Instagram or my YouTube, I have been documenting. Matter of fact, I documented a death just last week that took place at Telfair State Prison. What prison is it? Nah, that's my man at Macon State. Rest in peace to that brother too. But there was a death at, here we go. My man, Andre Leaks. Andre Leaks is the third person to be killed at Telfair this year. It was just March, folks. Rest in peace to Andre Leaks. I also rest in peace to the brother who got killed a few days ago at Macon State Prison. Mr. Jen was killed. So my point in bringing up, when I say rest in peace and I pay respects and send out, positive energy to the family, is because that these are humans that are being held in state facilities. So here's the deal, and I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Hey, we taxpayers, man, and as taxpayers, this is what we do. We give up a portion of our income, meaning we work, we clock in and we clock out, and these people take our money. This entity, this government takes our money and they utilize it in a way in which it's supposed to be beneficial to us. So what takes place is our tax dollars pays the police salary, it pays the judge salary, the COs, the warden, the public defenders, the judicial system. Our tax dollars pay for all of that. All of that. So when that takes place, we're putting our faith and our dollars into the hands, the minds, and the procedures of the powers that be. So within that, if an individual or individuals break the law within the confines of this state and they are arrested, they are tried and they are found guilty, then they too have a debt to pay to not just society, to the community, and to that prison, to that jail cell. That also means that upon their captivity or their incarceration, they are to be rehabilitated. That means that when that individual goes into that system, they have been sentenced to a certain amount of time for the sole purpose of altering their mindset, for the sole purpose of allowing this individual to grow to a place where they could be a tax-paying citizen. So that means that the act of rehabilitation is expected to take place. That means that those people who have trauma, I'm not gonna even get off into the deep part. Let's just we're gonna keep it on level 1 right now. So that means that an individual who has broken the law in my county and my tax dollars has paid for him to go through this system, this person is going to prison right now under this current these current overseers. The prisons are understaffed, they're overpopulated, and there is no discipline, there is no security, there is no order. And where there is no order, rehabilitation cannot take place. You take a person and they rob a store or they beat their old lady and they get 10 years. And you sit that person in the cell and that person is not addressing their issues. They have not began to alter their way of thinking. They're not shifting their paradigm. They're not improving their education. No, they're not learning. They ain't getting no GED. They ain't improving themselves in no way, form, or fashion. They getting locked up and they sitting in a cell or a dorm or a facility or a region or a section, and they're just picking up on other laws. In fact, some of the people that are going to jail in the state of Georgia, in reference to a number of the videos that I've posted, a lot of them going in there and with certain crimes and certain backgrounds, they're picking up drug habits, they're picking up gang affiliation, they're picking up different hustles, and they are affecting our community. I just did a story on a guy in Chicago who just paroled out last Tuesday, came home, didn't work on nothing when he was in there, couldn't have, paroled out. In less than a week, he stabbed his baby mama, then he stabbed the 11-year-old son that was trying to protect the mama. See, what takes place is when we pay our tax dollars for these people to get rehabilitated and they don't get rehabilitated, these people come out and they violate again. And the state of Georgia has the highest, one of the highest percentages of recidivism in these United States. Now, recidivism is the rate at which individuals return back to prison. They only expect for you to stay out here 18 months. Then you go right back to the system. So you wasting our tax dollars. When I go to a restaurant and I order something and I pay for something and I work hard for them, these is calluses on my hand. I don't sell drugs, I don't rap, and I ain't got no hustle, I work. So with that being said, when I pay for something, I want it. We pay for rehabilitation, man. Y'all folks ain't doing y'all job, man. We going here, we paying for these people to get rehabilitated. They are traumatizing and they are being traumatized. These folks is killing each other, setting each other on fire. It's havoc. You sitting officers in there and they not protected. They getting manhandled. The inmates is paying the police more than the police is paying the police. Also, so the officers are not protected. You have an officer, a female officer that was just kidnapped, held hostage, disrespected. I don't know what the follow-up story is because y'all hide a lot of stuff that's going on. So you have a child, you raise this child graduate, this child go get a job. They say, I'm gonna work for the state. It sounds like a safe situation on it. So you too are a taxpayer and you send this child in here, you send your young adult in here and they get taken advantage of in the worst way. Okay, so you have done your due diligence as a law enforcement officer. You done put in the work. You enforcing the law. You doing the right thing. You have a plan, and you start working your way up through the ranks. You're a CO, and then you're a sergeant or a lieutenant and all this stuff, and you become the warden. And the task that you have been given at hand is a task that requires a tad bit more interpersonal skills. a strict line of discipline and evidence-based elements that will allow your environment to be one that is continuously on the increase of positivity, and you become the warden. You're the warden. You're in charge of this place. You got some position somewhere of a system or a region of the system that is not on the up and up. Lo and behold, one day you get stabbed in the neck. I don't know this individual. I'm not saying anything bad about this person. He is a human being. What I'm saying is that the powers that be are hiring people for positions that they're not qualified to. If they were, here's our two options. Either these people are unqualified, and when I say they're unqualified, I'm not basing it on those individuals or a specific individual mindset or degree or social status. I'm looking at the numbers. So what I'm saying is that the prison population has continuously been on the rise since day one. They keep building jails. They keep building jails. They keep building prisons. Crime, toxicity. I don't know if I said that word right, but unlawfulness and the audacity of individuals to break the law in the manner in which they do. I just read today, and we got another story coming up. An 11, a 12, and a 16-year-old tried to rob a bank. I just watched this story where a mother is outside with 5 of her children, and they having a kid fight. How many of y'all have been in kid fights? Well, for whatever reason, she pulled her pistol out. Another parent saw her with her pistol out. I hear 2 old people talking in the background, and they see her saying she done pulled her pistol out. Look at her walking around. Don't make no sense. And that lady lost her life, man. Got 4 children, had one in the oven, folks. She out of here. We're not utilizing some of the things that we have or some of the things that should be implemented. So let's say that. So now, my point in saying that was this, is that either these people are not qualified to get these jobs done, or all this shit working the way that they want it to work. How about that? How about the United States has a defunct education system, and when you do not properly educate people, if those people are not properly exposed to elements that could shift their paradigm and alter their way of thinking, guess what happens? They become unlawful. The likelihood of a college student or a college graduate of breaking the law and or going to prison is highly unlikely. The reason being is because when you go to college, you get educated. Some of y'all graduate, some of y'all don't. But you're exposed. You're exposed to a different way of life. A lot of people that go to college don't break laws because to be unlawful, to break laws, to go to prison is simply illogical. See, when you add logic and understanding and exposure to a situation, you reduce the chances of making a stupid decision. So I say that because when you look at our education system and you see how defunct it is, and when you roll through Decatur or DeKalb County and you see some of the schools, and then you roll out here to some of these other areas and high schools look like college campuses, you got to ask yourself, are these two entities up under the same government? Where are the prisoners coming from? Where are certain things allowed at? Then that makes me start to think that it's done by design. Because now you got the school to prison pipeline. Because if you don't educate the people, they'll end up at the Waffle House. No disrespect to nobody at the Waffle House, Walmart, or in jail. Some of us, figure some things out. But for the most part, maybe it's a coincidence. So my point in even bringing this video up is this, man, is that you put a person in the cell and they feel like it ain't no hope, man, and it's just a matter of time before they die, they gonna buck. They gonna buck. Look at Haiti. Look at Haiti. You got to bring something fresh to it. Y'all talking about doing something, y'all need to start doing it. Because people getting hurt and people dying. And every chance I get, I'm going to say something. I'm going to scream to the top of my lungs. Because I feel like if I was in a situation like that, I would want somebody to help me. Whether I was wrong, right, indifferent, on death row, whatever. I'm resting peace in you. I ain't disrespecting nobody. I ain't calling you no inmate or no convict. It's humans. These is humans. And humans should be treated as such. And when you keep mistreating humans, guess what happens? They get pissed off, folks. They'll buck. They'll buck. And I ain't on no, we need to revolt and take over the prison. I ain't saying none of that. I'm saying, man, do the job you get paid to do. You got our money. You taking our taxes. What you doing with them? You making us look bad, man. And then you sitting, by the time that person get done doing their time, I been bought me some property in my neighborhood, in my respective community, and you done let this person back out here, and they ain't ready. They ain't gonna be out here number 18 months. They gonna come out here and do something like the boy did and do something random. You downtown with your family having a nice evening, and this person just violates you because that's all they know is violation. If you've been violating people for 10, 15 years, man, and you come home and you faced with adversity, guess what you're going to do? You're going to violate. Come on, man. I'm saying help the citizens, help the homeowners, help the taxpayers, help the police, help the ward, help the people, help the prisoners. Man, help yourself by doing what you're supposed to do. We ain't asking you to do no extra shit. You got paid to keep them prisoners in that prison safe, and you ain't doing it. And it's reflecting upon the people, the community, and your staff. Man, tighten up, period.